so nice to be here.
It's so nice to finally meet you.
Oh, you as well. It's really nice. I've been checking out your work. It's very cool.
I'm checking out your work.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
I'm such
Appreciate
a
it.
huge fan. Okay.
Thank you.
I love your content and the, you know, how it impacts other people. So I was looking through your content today as well, and then it was really influential. Like honestly, like it inspires me a lot. Like I felt like I actually need to step up my game as well. So yeah, I love your content.
Thank you so much. I think you're doing great already, and it's just a journey, right? You figure yourself out as you go along.
So since I'm a beginner, I'm still, you know, slowly figuring things out.
Yeah, of course, yes.
All right, so, you know, we all know you have built such an impactful brand. And what was the moment you realized that social media was not just about posting pictures or videos? It was more than that. It was a career.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you?
I think when I started my career on social media, I had figured out at that point when I got on that this was a career that can be built.
Yeah.
Although it was very new to Sri Lanka, I had just traveled to Thailand on vacation. This is before we got into any content creation with my husband.
Yeah.
At the time, he was my boyfriend, and we did a very budgeted backpacking trip for 30 days, and we met so many people who had been traveling long term, using their creative skills like photography and videography to kind of exchange skills for like stays and for work and things like that. And this was very new to me at the time.
Yeah.
And when I met these people and spoke to them, they said, oh, you know, we've been traveling for 6 months or so. And I was like, wow, so it's possible to travel continuously. So when I started, it was like, oh, I can create content and travel, which is something that I wanted to do.
Yes.
And it started off like that. But once we started doing it here, obviously it was very hard to convince people here in the beginning because it was something new.
Yeah.
But
what was the year?
This is 2000. So this trip was in 2017. We started creating in 2018.
Wow.
So
okay,
you know,
I was schooling. I did not know anything about content creation.
No, but it's changed a lot since then.
Yeah,
and somewhere along in the early parts of my journey, I realized that, you know, you're building a platform. Yes, you're posting lovely photos and videos. But there's so much more you can do because you have a platform. There are people who are listening to you, so there's a lot of impactful information that you can exchange with that attention. So along the way, I got very inspired to share very, how to say, important, like I wanted to share something important, something I was passionate about. And using the platform to do that became what I wanted my career to be about.
Yeah, that's amazing. Really amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just like you asked me that question, I'm so curious to know because I feel like I explained my early days to you now, but you're also in those similar days in your career. So did you also come in thinking of a career, or did you just accidentally stumble on this?
Accidentally stumbled on this because let me tell you how I started this, because I was bored. Okay, that was back in 2023. I was bored and I just got this sponsored ad saying that it was a giveaway. So it had like a jar of tooth in it. So like it's a jar of tooth.
Okay.
And there are like separate tooth.
Okay.
And you had to count the number of tooth
And guess how many?
Then you have to. I literally took a screenshot of it and then I drew dots and dots, and then I think it was like there were about 46 tooth, and then I had to comment it down. And when I did that, it was from a dental brand.
Okay.
So when I did that, I was like, please, I hope I'm not the winner of this giveaway, because I really do not want to go to a dental clinic, right? Because I hated dentists and dental clinics. So when I did that, I actually won. Yes, amazing. So I found out that I won and I actually had to go there. So when I went there, I felt like I need to share my experience with my audience. I mean, I did not have an audience back then, of course. So I just felt like I need to create a video.
This is something fun. Everyone should experience.
Yeah, because like I did not expect this at all. So I wanted to make that video. I made a really cringe video, by the way. Yeah, that's how I started.
Okay.
And that brand actually liked that video. I was so surprised because why the hell would you like it?
Yeah.
That was literally me embarrassing. Like, that was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So that's how I started it. And I think up until now, I obviously have grown a lot, I think. And as a beginner, it was actually, I did not think of getting into this thinking that I could make a career out of this. But I still think that obviously there's a lot of opportunities for aspiring content creators. And I think I'm, looking forward to create more content of myself and my personality and how I want to express myself as well. So I actually started with collaborations, brand collaborations, but now along the side, I should obviously as a content creator, I should create content. So what I do is when I get brand collaborations, I try to blend in my the sense of personality and the style with the brand and the identity, and that's how I do it. So
that's so awesome. So you're like personalizing the content
and
but for the brand.
Yes, exactly. So that's how I try to build up my engaging audience as well.
So naturally, when you're doing this and when you're starting out and when you start to gain traction, one of the first things that I noticed was that you start suddenly, it's not just your audience who you've grown with who's seeing it, there's new people and there's a lot of criticism and a little bit of like hate and things that come in. How do you deal with that, because initially you're not used to it, right? So how do you, maybe you can share a little bit about how you handle that?
So that's crazy, because in the beginning I was affected by those negativity and negative comments and all of that. But as time progressed, I realized that okay, that's a new community, that's a new person, and obviously they do not know me. So that means I have reached, right? I have.
Exactly.
And when I got the very first hate comment, I literally took a screenshot and sent it to my group chat. I was like, bro, I'm out there. I'm so proud of myself. So
that's good.
That's what I did, because I actually see that as a good thing.
That's so great.
Yeah,
that's so great.
People see me, right?
So my husband and I, we make content together, right? So I get really sensitive about it, and he always says, but no, you realize that this is someone completely new. So the piece of content that we made has not reached a new audience. That's a good thing.
That's amazing. And always there will be people who will hate.
But what are you going to do about it, right?
Exactly.
But other than that, have you had any struggles in the field so far that you have kind of worked through, or is there anything that you had to push through to kind of come to this moment?
I think it's a battle. I think it's a battle against myself too sometimes, because I feel like sometimes when you overconsume content, you tend to compare yourself to others a lot, right? And you feel like, oh my god, will I be able to do this? And I feel like I'm trying to get into perfectionism while forgetting about what forgetting to maintain my authenticity. So I feel like it's a little challenging as well.
It's a tough line between when you're using your phone, when you're a content creator, you have to consume a certain amount of content to know what's going on.
That's true.
You have to it's a fine line between over-consuming and consuming, and you want to kind of be a producer of content and not a consumer as much.
That's
so that's you are struggling to do that, and sometimes, like you said, you just get caught up looking at the trends, looking at what everyone else is doing, and that can make you feel I don't know, sometimes I feel like I can't make anything because I've watched too many videos.
Honestly.
I could never make a video that's going to add any more value.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah. So you know, like with so many content creators and influencers out there, millions, billions globally, and what do you think makes a content creator stand out?
I think it's really important to be true to yourself, whatever that may be. Like being your authentic self is the number one way for you to stand out, because very cliche, but this saying is true, there's only one of you, everybody else is taken. But there's only one of you. So I think one thing is to be true to yourself. People can sense authenticity, and just like that, they can sense when you're not being true to yourself very quickly. Very quickly. So it's better to be true to yourself, true to who you are. And also it's really like important to not get stuck when you see content being made on the scale that it's being made now. You see someone creates a piece of content in a part of the industry that's popular, and then everyone thinks that this is great, we should all make this. But it's important that if you want to stand out, you can be in the same industry, you can be in the same market, but try to do something a little different. Think outside the box. I think having a unique edge or a unique creative thing to you on top of being authentic, that's a really good recipe for standing out.
That's amazing. Yeah, obviously that's a good point. Also, like we said, so with content creation, social media comes with trends, right? So do you feel like you need to keep up with those trends?
I think initially I might have felt like that, but like I said before, now because of the space that we're in, because I try to do things a little differently, and I feel like I've carved a little space for myself, like a niche. I don't feel that pressured to jump on trends, and I think that's a good place to be. I think, you know, jumping on a trend because it suits your niche, that's great. But I think jumping on every trend, then it's like, it's all so much pressure on you as a creator. And also, is it relevant to the audience? So I think it's a fine line. Everything is about balance, and
of course.
I think that's what. Have you ever had a defining moment in your career where you felt like, when you look back, you think, okay, just because I made this decision, that's when everything started happening?
Yeah, I do. But then again, I need to tell you this: how I actually stumbled. How I actually got there, stumbled upon this whole thing, is when I did a cosplay for Comic-Con, and I cosplayed as Kim Possible. So yes, and to be honest, I have not watched Kim Possible. Yes, I'm so sorry, but I cosplayed it because I just wanted an excuse to go to Comic-Con with my sister-in-law. So she is like a cosplayer, okay? So she was going, and I wanted to go with her. So, but I didn't want to be myself and go there because I wanted to, you know, dress up like someone. And I had one day. So I asked my boyfriend, I was dating back then, to come up with like, tell me, like, give me ideas.
Give me a good character.
Good character, and an easy character as well. Because I don't have, you know, much time also to find clothes. So he said, Kim Possible. I was like, oh, okay, I have this black long sleeved t-shirt, and I can get a, you know, cargo pants and some belt. And so I did it. And then apparently media, like a you know, what do you call it, a reputed, you know, media channel, got a picture of me, and then it sort of went viral. I did not know that, because I did not have, like, I do not use FB much. So it was going viral in FB. And then a lot of people has seen me, and they were talking about me, like, who this person is, and they said I look like an AI.
Oh really? I want to see this photo now.
Oh my god. Here it is. Do I need to?
I want to see it.
Oh my god. This one.
Oh right, I see what you mean. That's so cool. I can see how that looks like AI.
Okay, I don't know. Anyways, so I attracted a lot of, like, I got 1,000 followers from that one post. I was like, what the heck?
What is going on?
What is going on? And that was the time I started doing that video as well for that dental brand.
Oh, it was the same time.
Yeah,
okay.
it was the same time. I was like, oh, okay, this is great timing.
Yeah.
People, followed me. So I thought, okay, I think this is the best time to create, content and, give
Try something out.
Try something out.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And that's how I started it.
Yeah.
And yeah. It's really
Right.
nice how.
That makes a lot of sense now. When I looked at your page, I know that it's not like your main thing, but like one thing I loved was the shoots that you had done.
Yeah.
And there's something there definitely like I
Thank you
think
so
that you
much.
look great in photos, and that's definitely something.
Thank you so much. Okay, so,
So beautiful that people thought you were AI. Like I think that's such a high compliment.
okay. Thank you. I don't know. What was your ride the wave moment for you?
I think if I really think about it, there's one moment that pops into mind. Very early on in my career, so somewhere around in 2019, we had just done this trip around Sri Lanka. We hired a cab, we saved some money, hired a cab. We drove around like the circumference of the island because we always wanted to do that. And then like we were just now starting to run out of like all the money we had saved, and we were starting to realize that okay, after this trip we won't have any more money to do traveling and content creation like that. We're just gonna have to go back and get jobs. So we thought, you know what, if that's the case, let's just do this one trip that we wanted to do like our whole life and just make some videos on it so that we have the memories to look back on. And so we did that trip. We did a bunch of vlogs of our journey, and then we compiled like all the best clips, and we were like going to make a short video to show how beautiful the island is. And it was around the same time as the Easter bombings. So then we were like, oh my god, is there any point in even posting these travel videos? When all this was happening and everything we read online was negative about Sri Lanka. We went from like beautiful travel destination in 2018 to 2019, everything was terrible. And then we discussed it and we thought, you know what, now is the time that everyone needs to hear how great this island really is, or how beautiful our country really is, and a little bit of light in all this darkness. And so we decided to compile that video. We put a message about the island, said that this has happened, but this doesn't define our country, where we have such a beautiful country, we have beautiful people, good, kind people, and that's what we should focus on. And we put this video up, and it, for us at the time, went viral. Got 10,000 views simply because people were so disheartened and they wanted to be reminded of how beautiful our country is, right? So they were sharing it a lot. And we were really happy. We were like, okay, we did this, we put it up. We were able to give some positivity to people in this like dark time, and now we're getting ready to like go back and look for jobs and stuff. And we get this call from a friend who's heard from another friend that somebody from this very big travel brand, this really huge hospitality brand, saying that they were launching a massive campaign for Sri Lanka to kind of bring us out of this situation in the media front. And they're getting down a Miss Universe to come to Sri Lanka and shoot a video around her at the time of her journey in Sri Lanka and what her experience in Sri Lanka was. This was all to like make people feel like Sri Lanka is a safe place to travel again. And they were reaching out to us because they had seen this video and they felt like the message in the video was so genuine, and it really was from our hearts.
Obviously,
they wanted something like that made for them, and they were reaching out to us for it. And this was huge because it was paid. It was from a big company, and it required us to manage and direct a very experienced team of videographers who were far older and more experienced than us. And it was with the Miss Universe, right?
So this was in the beginning.
This was in 2019, just when we were about to quit and start looking for jobs. And so at that point, that was very scary, and that was like a time where I felt like